In this video, I'm going to show you how to complete your project number 3 for French 10. On the left here are the instructions you see on the course website, and on the right is the rubric. So first, you're going to watch the video that will be linked as step 1. Step 2, you can take this quiz here to kind of see what kind of travel you are, and you're going to pick a city that you like to visit. And step 3, you're going to use these websites here to help you create an itinerary for the city that you'd like to visit. You're going to create a website for this project, and you're going to include the information from the rubric into your website. You're going to pretend that you're a travel agent, basically, and you want to sell the trip that you're promoting. Then you'll complete your assignment and submit for grades, and this will be your last project for French 10. So the rubric is a little long and it might be confusing, so you are welcome to pause and replay this video at any point that you need. It's a website, so on your introduction page, you should have the title of the country that you're visiting, your name and last name, a picture of yourself. This could be a real picture that you have or a Photoshop, but you should be in the country that you're talking about or the city that you're talking about. The length of the trip, you need at least 5 days, but it could be longer. And you should show the flight there and back with an appropriate screenshot. So if all of those criteria are complete, then you get this many points. 2 of 3 and 0 of 2, you get that many points. In your introduction page, you should also have dans ma valise j'apporte, which means in my luggage I am bringing, and you should include 10 pieces of articles of clothing in your trip on that in that section. And then in this section, also in the introduction section, you have appropriate screenshots and visuals throughout. You might want to show like the country, or you might want to show some articles of clothing. You might want to show visuals of the city, whatever you'd like. But also you have to include the budget. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to show you. The budget has to be between 3,750 and 4,000. So that's how much you're allowed to spend on this trip. So you're going to start off your introduction page with that much money, let's say $4,000. You're going to start off with, and you're at 0 at this point. But since you've already purchased your flight, length of the trip, the flight, you have to start including a breakdown of the price in your budget. So on your intro page, you should have how much you started with, where you are now, and how much is left. So on this page, for example, you would have $4,000 is your original. Then on the next line, you would include how much is left. So 4,000 minus the flight, and then how much is left now. So this screenshot and record of budget should be on every page that I'm talking about. On the next page, you should have itinerary. And when I say page, I mean button. If you notice here, like on this website, there are different buttons. You can do that on your website. I don't want everything you just keep scrolling. I want it kind of interactive, and the client or the teacher would have to go and click things around and go kind of explore your website. You're trying to make it fun and interactive. So on your next button or page, you have the itinerary of activities. So here you're going to include at least 3 activities per day. And since it's at least 5 days, it's at least 15 activities. You're going to highlight these in blue whenever you talk about them. If you have let's say you're going to have a table on an Excel or something like that, if you organize your day in 5 columns, you should organize in sequence of chronological order. Well, you should include your activities in blue. So anytime you mention the activity, it should be in blue, and then it should be numbered so that I can easily see if you have the 15, and also so that I can find them easily in blue. So if you're confused about this at all, don't feel shy at all to reach out to me. You can email me at any point. Basically, the point is, if you're going to have a page full of activities and organized by day, however you want to organize that, in a table, in a column, in a paragraph, however you do it, you have to include these in blue and number them so that the teacher can easily find them. Then again, this appropriate screenshots and visuals are included of those activities, and the budget is also up to date. After your itinerary page, you have a meal page. So this might be a meal button or another page, however you want to include that. So you have to include at least 3 meals per day, at least 5 days. So at least 15 meals. If your trip is longer, you can have more meals, obviously, but you need at least 15 meals 3 times per day. 15 meals total. So in the same way that your activities were presented in blue, here here your meals will be presented in green. So if you organize all your days in sections like day 1, day 2, 3, your activities should be presented in blue, and then in here your meals in order of how you do it and how you eat it in green. You would want to number them so then I can easily find that you have at least 15, and that would be the goal of that. In addition to these meals, of the 15 meals, the student included 3 of them that are Michelin star. So this doesn't mean you include 15 plus 3. It means of the 15, 3 of them are Michelin star meals. So you still only have 15, but 3 of them are Michelin star meals. I've provided the Michelin star website right here. If you go ahead and click that, you'll see all of the available Michelin star restaurants around the world. So you just write down your location right here, and then it'll bring up some ideas of places that you can eat that are Michelin star reviewed. Michelin star just means it's highly, highly reviewed, and you're going to have an amazing experience eating at that restaurant. So I want you to eat at least 3 Michelin star restaurants. These, again, should be still written in green, but they should be bolded so that I can see that you have 3 of them and I can find them easily in your website. You should number them nonetheless, and you should include at least 1 food critic of each of these Michelin star restaurants. So you need 3 critics because you need 3 restaurants. These critics can be just a few sentences. It doesn't have to be paragraphs long. It could be 3 sentences, maybe 5 sentences, nothing long. Don't get overwhelmed here. You're meant to kind of explore Michelin star restaurants, 3 of them, and write a simple, small review about them. After the Michelin star, so you have 15 meals, 3 of which are Michelin star. You also need 5 snack stops along your itinerary. They can be all in the same day. They could be 1 a day. They can be 2 today, 2 tomorrow, 1 the next day, and none the last 2 days. However you'd like to organize it, you need to stop for 5 coffees or desserts or snacks, anything more than simply breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have to show me where you go. You have to include what the food is. And the same goes for all of your other meals. You have to show me, write the description, show the menu. What did you pick? And write this in pink. So these menu meals over here were in green, and this one was green bolded, but the snack will be in pink. So make sure that you font your snacks in pink, and make sure that you number them so I can easily find them. If you do this, but you forget to font any of your activities or meals or anything, then you'll automatically get half of the points available. After the meal snacks, then you can also include your screenshots and update your budget. So just make sure that everything that you pick, you're including proof of where you went and maybe the menu that they have online and a screenshot of it, and update your budget along the way. Make sure you stay within that $4,000 range. On your next button, this is your last button, is resting place. So you're going to have to stay at 2 places minimum. So your first place, these 2 rubrics here are the same. So your first place here is of your choice, and so is this one. Where did you stay? Is it a hotel, a hostel, Vrbo? Where did you stay? Give me the address and a screenshot of the Google area, and a reason why you chose this place, maybe a sentence or 2, and a critique of the resting place. Did you end up liking it or not? A sentence or 2. Same thing for your second resting place. I notice here that a critique of the resting place is here, but not on this one. I still want you to put it for this one. Resting place student includes a short critique of the stays of the trip. So now that you've stayed at place 1 and place 2, give me a critique of both of them. So compare them and just tell me in 5 to 8 sentences which one do you like more, which one you didn't like, and which one would you recommend to your friends, and which one your client should stay at. And again, you're going to include pictures and appropriate screenshots, anything that is related, and as well as updating your budget along the way. Last is transportation. So you're going to show me however you want to scale your presentation, either like organized by day or organized by activity, however you want to do it. You have to also show me how you're going to get from activity to restaurant to stay to your hostel back to an activity. How are you going to get from place to place, and what is also it going to look like, and what is it going to cost along the way? So you have 3 things. You have food and meals, you have resting places, and you have you have activities, then you have meals, then you have resting places. But between those, you have to show me transportation of those 3 items. Then in another tab, or however you want to organize your website, you're going to include important phrases. So you're going to include 10 important words for that place. So the French word of maybe how do you say hello, or can I order a baguette, please? Or how do you get on the metro line? Or can you help me? So 10 important words and 10 important phrases. So that's what you need for this section. And your final budget. So you need to summarize a breakdown of all of your flights, your activities, meals, resting places, everything, transportation, everything is a summary of budget. You must fall between this amount. And if you realize you spent too much or not enough, go fix that throughout somewhere. Maybe go change an activity. And then you need to also make sure that you consider the conversion rate. Every country has a different way that they organize their money. And if you travel from one place to the next, your dollar might not equate to how much that country has their dollar at. So make sure that if you're spending $4,000, you're not going over. If you're going to Europe, for example, things cost more. The euro is more expensive than the Canadian dollar. So you're going to have to make sure that you consider that in your conversion rate and in your budget. Last is a conclusion. So you're kind of giving your client a 3 to 5 sentence. Would you suggest this place? Would you not? What would you skip? What was your favorite part, etc. So maybe a last button to conclude. And then obviously a bibliography in alphabetical order. And under any image that you have or visual, you should include like a little description, 5 words, let's say, just to show what the picture is that we're seeing. So that's the main bulk part of the project. For presentation, you have aesthetic. Is it beautiful, not distracting? It's not too crowded, and it's well organized. So key here will be organization. And then French, obviously your presentation will be in French. Is it well polished? There's no mistakes, etc. So this is your last presentation before you're done French 10. And I expect this project before the 10-month mark of your welcome email. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll be happy to answer.